Seals catches him from behind, jamming that knee into the wet turf, but he appears to be okay.
He just jammed that one, but he's tough. He'll be back, no question. But Bruce Smith just changes the entire perspective of the game. Now here's Wolford coming out. He was out about 4 or 5 minutes ago. He left the field. Now what could be wrong? He's running well. His arms are moving nicely. He's not holding anything.
So it must not be too serious.
Couldn't be too serious.
So with a delay, losing 17 seconds, Buffalo finally stops the clock as, of course, Landeta and the Giants were going to use up all they could. Al Edwards back at his 31. Buffalo leading 14-10 will get another chance before the intermission. Low line drive. Edwards again lets it bounce. Looks for a block. And gets to the 32-yard line. Robert Roscoe, tight end, makes the tackle, and let's see how Marv Levy plays it with 1:21 to go and one timeout with a backup quarterback. All signs would say take it easier, wouldn't it?
Normally you would. Reich has always played well. He came in and has done admirably well. He's got more than average ability. So they may just unload him and just go.
Boy, he was sitting on the bench behind Boomer at Maryland. Then as a senior had big numbers. Third round pick by Buffalo in '85. And they're going to go for it. To the tight end McKellar. And the former basketball star at Jacksonville State of Alabama gets good yardage and stops the clock at the 44-yard line.
Gary Reasons missed a tackle. Number 55 missed a tackle that he should have made. Allow Buffalo to get out of bounds, stop the clock. The Giants just have to do a better job of tackling those crossing receivers. Now there's that two-man line with a three-man rush against his own defense.
Can't hang on to that one as Reasons with him.
Going with 5 linebackers, any one of whom can blitz, giving them a 4-man rush. But Bill Belichick talked about funneling everything inside again with this form of defense and having a lot of people in there to stop those inside breaking patterns.
2nd and 10 again. McKellar the tight end into Giants territory at the 47, a gain of about 8. Carroll Banks makes the tackle. Clock running just under a minute. Buffalo, remember, has 1 timeout left in the half.
Giants are going to have to jump on those crossing receivers and be there when the ball gets there. Right now they're giving them those completions.
3rd down and 1, and Thomas doesn't make it. He is stuffed. Eric Howard from Gilroy, California, the world's garlic capital. He said that's his secret weapon. I just take some of that good Gilroy garlic and let my opponent know I'm here. Howard from Washington State. He and Keith Millard. What a tandem that was inside for the Cougars college.
He sure started out well this year. When we were here earlier in the year with the Miami game, they were talking about Howard being a potential superstar in the league.
Well, the Bills don't seem to want to run another play. The final seconds tick away, and now time called with 2 seconds left, and apparently Marv Levy says, well, we'll let it run down. We'll take one shot at the long pass where we can't be hurt with the Giants intercepting unless they really run a long one back, and that's the strategy here.
I'm sure you can look for a Giants trying to block this punt, or maybe they're going to go for it. I guess they are, aren't they? 2 seconds.
Well, the injury to Kelly really cast a pall on this crowd, didn't it?
Well, they've got to get him back for those playoffs. That's the bottom line. They're in the playoffs. They've got to get him back for those.
Well, the trips left. And the Giants send 2 men all the way back inside the 5-yard line. Hoping for a carom or a lucky bounce. Whoa, almost got it. Broken up by Pepper Johnson. The end of the first half. The Buffalo Bills leading the Giants 14-10, but of concern for the leaders and Marv Levy, the welfare of Jim Kelly. We'll have all that for you when we return. First, we go to Bob Costas and NFL Live. All right. As we go to the second half here at Giants Stadium, a look back, 5.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Jim Kelly completes a pass and then is struck unexpectedly as his own teammate Wolford rolling into that knee, and then Kelly writhing in pain. We still have as yet to receive an official medical report on the seriousness of that injury, but one can only assume he's not going to play today and probably next week. And what if Kelly were lost for the season? As a coach, can you put yourself in Levy's shoes?
I hate to think about it, but Frank Reich is a good quarterback and an able one, and he's won for them in the past, as you know. They're going to have to reduce the things that Kelly did and find those things that Frank does well. Problem with this game is they're going to have to score again, and can Frank get it done? I'm sure they checked off those things he can do best and are isolate on those, and now their defense and their running game are going to have to rally, as is often the case, to pick up for the slack.
A reminder, last year when Kelly was injured in Indianapolis, missed 3 games, Reich took over and he rallied the Bills that Monday night game against the Rams. Then he led them to a victory over the Jets, and they beat the Dolphins, so he was 3-0. Now he not exactly dropping down to an inferior player.
No, and you saw Ted Marchibroda speaking with him just then and going over those plays that they'll emphasize with him. You see, he hasn't got much.
Al Edwards is breaking clear, and Edwards is bumped out of bounds on the far sidelines at the 45-yard line of the Giants. So Edwards, the rookie, with a big return, and Dave Dorson, the veteran, perhaps saved a touchdown.
Well executed all the way up the field. You'll see him go inside the double teams, then right back out. There's a perfect kickoff return. All the blocks were there.
And indeed, Dorson saved the score. So the Bills get a big return to start the second half. About half the crowd here at Giants Stadium, with this foul weather, deciding to head for the exits. Frank Reich for the injured Jim Kelly, and he's got a star behind him in Thurman Thomas. And Thomas with a call. Good play. Carl Banks wrapping him up. A gain of 2.
Well, Reich will have a specific group of plays he'll run. The problem coming into a game cold like this is he had not gotten, I'm sure, enough practice to prepare for this game, where Kelly would get 80 or 90% of the practice for a league game like this, especially a big one. Frank Reich would get very, very little. So he's not going to be as sharp as he would be after another week when he'd be the starting quarterback in their next game.
There's Will Wolford, number 69. He's the man that crashed into Kelly, creating the injury. He's okay. 2nd and 8. And the Giants will give Reich a lot to look at, and Thomas no gain as Leonard Marshall, who slashes in along with John Washington to make the stop. And you can bet that defense of the Giants will do a lot of moving and stunning and game playing to try to confuse Reich once he gets under center.
2 players that are so comparable in this game. Now, Marshall is strictly a pass rushing guy that's been sort of forced into service as a regular, and he doesn't really have the bulk, but he is still very quick and very heady. But 2 guys that are outstanding in this game are Carl Banks and then Talley for the Bills. Outstanding players in a sense, overshadowed by the superstars, but still outstanding in their own right.
On 3rd and 8. Right deep down the middle, incomplete. Beebe had a chance. A little speedy wide receiver from Chadron State, who has 5 catches this year and is one of the fastest men in the team. So the Giants defense denies, even though Al Edwards with a great kickoff return to start the second half.
They just have to back up these Giants and keep them funneled near their own end zone to take the pressure off Reich to have to take this team the length of the field when they do get the ball.
Dave Meggett at the 10-yard line, the NFC's top punt returner, averaging 11.5 a return. Fair catch. Will get the ball at the 20-yard line on the touchback. 23 yards net for Rick Tootin. 43 on the kick. Now here comes Phil Simms and the Giants. The pizza man, Phil Simms. What's the most money you've ever spent on a pizza?
Oh, I say pure, just cheese, $3.95.
Oh, you must
That
have
little
done-
pepperoni and sausage,
Well, you know what, Sims?
$8.99.
Sims is down over $22,000. He has purchased $200 worth of pizzas for 7 straight years on Friday. It's a tradition with the Giants. He said, I inherited it from a backup quarterback, Tom Owen. He said, I didn't realize it would get to these numbers.
Think of the guy who gets the business too.
Rodney Hampton, and with those 3 yards, that is his career high, this rookie. He had nearly 80 yards last week against Minnesota, and that'll put him over the 80-yard mark. Let's go down to O.J. Simpson.
Well, I talked to Dr. Richard Weiss of the Buffalo Bills, and it seems that Jim Kelly has an injury to his medial collateral ligament. He says it might be a slight tear. These injuries tend to heal well, and it maybe, just maybe, he can be back in 3 weeks. No sooner than that.
Here's Hampton trying the center of the Bills defense to the 25-yard line. So it would appear, and these are preliminary reports and things do change, but from the medical side, that Kelly is out for the rest of the regular season. The Bills can only hope they can avoid having to play that first round in a wild card situation, so Kelly would have the extra week to heal.
Well, that win over Miami, if they can get it in Buffalo, would really help. Kelly back for the playoffs. This team will be a potent force. But in the meantime, Reich is going to have to fill the gap by playing football with very little error and counting on his defense and his running game to pick up the slack. 3rd
down 5. Batted down as Cornelius Bennett there. Oh, he must have been a basketball player himself, the way he defends. And a flag goes down out at the 31-yard line. Could be against Buffalo. Action from the Bills players not good.
James Williams was number 31, was real upset at something. And most likely holding. It'd have to be defensive holding.
Of course, the Bills saying that with a deflection, maybe it happened after the ball deflected. Referee Haggerty and his crew say no, and the defensive holding call on 3rd down gives the Giants a 1st down. Boy, you won't see Marv Levy any angrier than that.
That's a tough call.
Wow.
Now, he did have a hold of a part of the jersey for an instant, but the ball was batted.
Call what you see. And it's a 1st down at the 30 for the Giants. 14-10 Buffalo. We've just started the second half here at the Meadowlands, and Hampton into a crowd, Bentley and others for the Bills.
The crowd's a little impatient. 70,000 people, a little impatient with the play calling. It is so conservative. And the Giants need the lead before I think they can really tighten down and hammer away. They've got to get some points.
I think Mr. Levy has left the multisyllabic terms and become more basic in his debate.
You know, that's all just spent energy, and maybe it's good for the coach to vent that, but it's not going to do a bit of good, obviously.
2nd down and a long 7%, changing his play.
Well, he's got the Bear defense up there, which often means throw the ball. Nope.
He gives to Meggett, and Meggett caught from the backside at the 35-yard line. Smith was attacking the play, but it was Bentley from the backside and Odoms who made the stop.
The play the Giants are running is a play that's been in existence for probably 30 years. That's the power play where the fullback will kick out the widest man. They'll double team and pull a guard through. It's been in football for so many years, and the Giants are one of the few teams that still go to it with some effectiveness.
Sims goes to the shotgun. They need nearly 5 for a 1st down. And the throw to Meggett. Oh, good move. They had him short of the 1st down, but Meggett, with that little circle reverse, Odoms and Smith make the stop, and now it's Sims that's down. Oh, my. This is becoming a tragic Saturday here at the Meadowlands for quarterbacks. And
Now,
Smith,
same kind of thing. Same kind of thing. But it didn't look like Sims had any real contact on that knee. You know, he limped a little bit right at the